let's get started with our four amazing talks. Our first speaker is Amit Svarzenberg. He's a Microsoft for Startups EMEA CTO. Amit is an AI advisor supporting technical journeys of companies and the connection to Microsoft products and business groups. Before joining Microsoft, Amit was the Open Innovation Manager for Samsung Research Israel, where he led strategic investment projects. Amit was instrumental in opening Samsung Research's R&D site in conjunction with the University of Haifa for developing the next generation of AI startups. Amit also lectures in Metaverse and Practical AI at the Tel Aviv University. Amit will talk about how AI multimodality is the missing link for autonomous agents. Amit.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me? Okay. Now let's see that. Okay, great. Thank you. So as you know, if you've been here today, you know that AI is everywhere. Okay, so let's do a very, very quick introduction or history lesson about what just happened here and how we get from text to real-life robots. So in 2019, some people came to meet Satya in California, asked $1 billion for a room full of GPUs and Mellanox Ethernet chips and built a huge computer to create this ugly UI called ChatGPT, or actually they built OpenAI. And OpenAI was one of the best products that changed the way that we see AI. And we'll talk about how it will affect the vision as well. So it's run on Azure, it's backed by our technology, and of course developed on GitHub. It was the fastest product to get to 1 million users. And then Microsoft didn't want to lose them and invested another $10 billion. So this is a short story about Microsoft and OpenAI, but we're here to talk about multimodality, agent, and vision. So 2 weeks ago, if you've seen, Microsoft invested another $700 million in a company called Figure AI. Let's see how multimodality with OpenAI looks like.
Hey, Figure One, what do you see right now?
I see a red apple on a plate in the center of the table, a drying rack with cups and a plate, and you standing nearby with your hand on the table.
Great, can I have something to eat?
Sure thing.
Great. Can you explain why you did what you just did while you pick up this trash?
On it. So I gave you the apple because it's the only edible item I could provide you with from the table.
Great. So, based on the scene right now, where do you think the dishes in front of you go next?
The dishes on the table, like that plate and cup, are likely to go into the drying rack next.
Great. Can you put them there?
Of course.
He's going to put the plate in the right place. So the future of AI robots is multimodality. But what is multimodality? You can see, for example, Microsoft Research Cody shows that you can combine two different models. For example, you can see an image of New York, text of teddy bear on a skateboard, and a sound of rain, all mixed into one, and to create a video, something like Sora. You take the audio of the rain, you change it to rain on the street, you take the text of the teddy bear, and you incorporate it with the image and the audio of the rain, and you create the teddy bear in New York in the rain. And in the end, we get the innovation of the multimodality, which called video or Sora. But this is not the only way to create innovation. We can also think about other multimodalities ways. For example, a piano and an image of a forest. It can create a man playing a piano in the forest. Sora, everybody knows about it. So you know that GPT-4 has a vision capabilities. You can also understand jokes. You can ask him what's funny about that. So he'll tell you that the absurdity of connecting a VGA into an iPhone is absurd. You can ask him about what will happen if you cut away the strings, and he'll tell you that the balloons are going to fly away. But you can also incorporate it in other products. For example, we can see this is Microsoft Edge. It's free for everyone. You can just take the vision using the Copilot tab, mark the screen, and ask him any question. You can annotate if you want. We'll learn in a few seconds, in a few minutes, how to make and how to create this in order to create more innovation in the research and the ways that we work. But you can actually try just after this conference. It's totally free, and you can use vision, audio, and other multimodalities in order to get the answer. In this question, he explained to you that dividing by 0 is wrong. You can use other functions, and of course, he's proactively help you ask more questions. When I'm doing research, I'm usually like the proactive way when you can ask any question, or it can also assist you. Another multimodality way in order to achieve agents and robots is audio, of course. So everybody knows Whisper.
I just had a car accident.
Let's hear a quick conversation about car accident.
Okay, I hope you're all right. What happened?
I was driving on the I-18 and I hit another car.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm just a little shaken up.
That's understandable.
So this is an unstructured text, audio, and what OpenAI do best is take unstructured data and make it structured data, and you can put it in data, and you can also create music. I'll just show you quickly. Again, you can use it on the Copilot app and create not only lyrics, you can actually create entire musics with sound. Let's hear a quick verse.
Yo, Svarzenberg in the house, CTO on the rise. Microsoft will startups you better recognize. Keynote at the future with AI convention tonight. Gonna drop some knowledge, gonna set the stage alight. Code warriors gather round, listen to the man. Amit Svarzenberg with the master plan. AI revolution, we're taking it to new heights. CTO of Microsoft, he's bringing the light.
True story, but let's go and talk about more multimodalities. So we don't have need screens. Another Microsoft investment is in a company called Humane, and they are going to change the ways that we want to work, live, and how we can understand our surrounding. Let's look at their AI.
Isn't life about what we experience, what we smell,
Can I eat this?
Yes, dragon fruits are low in sugar.
what we hear,
Hey, what should I get here?
我在这里该点什么呢？
what we see,
Capture this. Sweetie.
and what we feel? What if we build more memories,
What are some fun things to do nearby?
share more moments,
Can we play songs from the last time we were here?
What would happen if we rediscover our senses? What if devices weren't the experience?
Catch me up.
Lucy called and your flight is at 7 a.m.
Tell Lucy I'm on my way.
What if life was?
You can also integrate code. You can see a no-code, low-code application. And you can take an image.
As you can see here, an Express design will convert it into an app within seconds. It's pretty fantastic. This includes a complete UI that's built from your design with a back-end data schema. It's easy to check and modify all of the created components. You can further modify any part of the app to match your own design. And if you want to add more screens, you can simply repeat the process until your app is completed. For example, the interaction designer who's using Figma every day can build a prototype in Figma, upload the design into Power Apps, and have a working app in seconds, leaving developers to focus on data and backend logic. And by the way, this is all built on large AI models that I just talked about.
So most of us just want to write the algo. We don't want to do DevOps. So I'm not going to talk about the basics in this conference because most of you know it, so I'm going to do it really, really quick. In the past, 2 years ago, we used to do an algorithm for each case, classification, object detection, object tracking, and so on. And then the future of foundation model, when you can put a lot of data, text, images, speech, structured data, 3D signals into a huge model with a lot of data and a lot of cost for training. And I hope that NVIDIA is in the crowd because this is how we train today. And of course, it can has multiple emergent behaviors like question answering, semantic analysis, and even understand jokes about iPhones and chargers. So what are special about foundation model? They are super expensive and need a lot of data. GPT-3 costs $12 million. GPT-4, I want to keep my job, but cost more. Llama 1 costs $5 million, and so on. So if we look at the parameter, GPT-3 was 155 billion parameters, and GPT-4 is 100 trillion parameters. We have, real research says that we have around 8 years before we can skip to the human brain. Very last slide about that. So the emergent behavior is something that we can see when you train a lot of data, when you have $1 billion, see that at the beginning the model is becoming smarter and smarter. In one point it drops and become very stupid. But if you have a lot of data and a lot of money and you keep training, you find out that eventually it becomes a super genius and you understand Hebrew as well. So this is the emergent behaviors that we are seeing on those foundation models. Microsoft call Copilot to everything that we are doing. Everybody probably know GitHub Copilot that assists you to code. We have our Office, we saw Excel. I'm going to skip it. But how are you going to do agents? In a second, we're going to be more technical in this article. So an agent is something that can operate multiple LLMs and VLMs together. So let's see a quick example of a product that everybody knows, Windows. Everybody has this button right now. And it's actually a very simple agent, and it's going to become very sophisticated with time. But you can ask him to adjust your screen or adjust your workplace. And in a second, he understands that you are a programmer and you like dark themes. He sees that you have Visual Studio behind you, and he will ask you proactively if you want to split the screens. You can interact with other applications. This is how agent works. They are working outside of their own parameters. And we'll talk about multi-agents and how we can build them. So here you can see that you want chill vibes and you get Spotify. But let's go even deeper with the tech side. So how can you build and how can you accelerate your research? So a platform, this is what we are giving to the world after we have been doing this for 5 years. GitHub Copilot has been there for 5 years. It's basically the combination of foundation models, graph data, and app experience. We have the Azure AI Studio, which is a great studio if you want to customize your vision and explore models. In this example, this is the explore part. There are, every time there are even more and more multimodality algos that you can test, you can benchmark them, you even can see where tasks they are doing better and what tasks are doing worse. And you don't have every time you need to choose open GPT-4. It's not a solution for everything. There are the multimodalities that you can see some example before you're going to build the next innovation and apps that you want to do, so you can get some inspiring. And the build tab, this is where the magic happens. So you start with deployment, and you don't need to be a DevOps, because nobody wants to be a DevOps. You just want to create the models that you want. It doesn't have to be GPT-4. It can be Mistral, Llama, and so on. You can choose the task or the operations that you want to do, and just in 2 clicks deploy it. If you need some content filtering, for example, if you're researching about video games and you want to tell someone kill him, that's fine, just use content filtering. Data, it's something that is very difficult to feed, and you want it constantly index embedded data. If you want, you can also fine tune it, create custom speech, custom neural, but this is the playground. So this is the place to test your first beginning, and you can always press view code and see the code that you can use. And we see how we can integrate 2 different foundation models on the vision and now we can see how we can add speech, for example. We just double-click on the settings, we can go to view code, and we can see now that there is a microphone part. So if you want to start writing, start building your Python code, your algo, it doesn't have to be so sophisticated. You can open the project in Visual Studio, you can deploy it in the web, but we're going to prompt flow and see how we can integrate a lot of those foundation models and different algos. in a second, but basically everything is done automatically for you, so you can just concentrate on innovation and not concentrate on building all those backend. So you can integrate LLMs, VLMs, Python code all together in a flow, and of course everything is connected to Visual Studio. Let's look on other speech capabilities before we're going to see how we can customize vision. So let's see, you can access other AI studios where you can just test everything that you want to do, and there is, of course, the code line in the view code section everywhere. We saw in the demos that he speaks Japanese. I can also speak Japanese, and I can prove it. I'm checking Japanese, choosing Japanese, and I'm going to, it's pre-recorded, but.
What is your name? Can I have breakfast, please? Thank you.
Again, you can integrate the code wherever you want, but we are in a vision conference, so how can we integrate it into a vision product? So this is, for example, our avatar studio, where you can use. I see that we don't have a lot of time. I have 5 more minutes, and I want to go even deeper. So let's look at a nice example. Everybody knows how to create funny images with DALL-E. So let's create a quick image of San Francisco. And then we're going to use 2 different foundation models in order to, again, sorry. Okay, I see there is a problem with the video. Okay, this is quite important, so you'll have to watch the video again from the beginning, unfortunately. I split the video in the morning, and then I decided to add them into one joint video at the end. So you'll have to see again the funny images of San Francisco and even an image of a cat. I wanted to save the image of the cat, so okay, great. This is creating images with DALL-E. It's not exciting in 2024. But what is exciting is how we can combine 2 different foundation models together. So after seeing this, we can go again into the playground and choose GPT-4 Vision. Again, the code is in the view code area. We can upload the image. We can record something on the audio. For example, create a day trip for the city shown on the image. Of course, GPT Vision will work fine. But if you want to add another foundation model, Azure AI foundation model, you can just click on the vision side, and then you can get a lot of those capabilities that are already made. Let's click on the vision, and now we can, for example, understand what's in the image, and we can also operate on videos. So what is on the image? It's super important to help people understand where you took the data from, so there is not going to be an hallucination. In image, it's the same. So you can click on those blue text and get and see where he took the assumptions that he took and why he took them. I'm going to do it more quickly since we don't have a lot of time. Let's, instead of look at the other vision capabilities that we have, and we have a lot, I'm going to show you how to customize the model, because I think as a researcher, it's more important to you to understand that foundation model is super easy to customize, and it's super easy to create more innovation. There is a lot of tools from image retrievals, which you can find a lot of images in an iStack, you can videos and so on, but I want to show you how to customize vision.
In fact, let me show you how easy it is to train a custom model using the Azure Vision Studio. In my case, I want to train the model to detect quadcopter-style drones. In advance, I've created an image dataset in blob storage, and with the images loaded, I can label them by selecting the object and tagging the images with drone labels. I'll do that a few times, and once more, and now that I'm finished with labeling, I'll go back to Vision Studio to import the labeling data, which uses the common COCO file format. From there, I can import that file into the studio, point to the file, my other parameters, and confirm. Now, with the training data labeled, I can head over to custom models and start the model training. So I'll start the training process by giving the model a name. I'll select an object detection model and provide it with my custom training dataset. Now this is a small dataset, so I'll choose the smallest training budget, then review and start training. Once the model is trained, it produces a report with metrics that help me understand the model's accuracy. Now I'm going to test out the model I just trained, and I'll use a drone picture that was not in the original training set. And you'll see it's able to find the drone in the image.
Okay, so since I have 1 minute, I'm going to steal another one. I'm not going to talk about Assistant API where you can create Python code on the fly and create 3D images. But I'm not going to talk about the MLOps, but I do want to talk about agents and how easy it is to create them. So since I don't have a lot of time, we skipped on a lot of content, but you do need to use also content safety on your model multimodality if you do want to drag those models into production, and there is also a tool for that. And just to finalize everything, we talked about form flow, and so I did a very, very long presentation for 20 minutes, and I now understand it. This is a robot that took me 1 day. It's a multimodality robot that uses a robot operation system, ROS, with LLMs and VLMs that you just saw. And he understands music. He takes the music and create the nodes movement so the robot can dance. So in conclusion, because I'm out of time, what is the future? The future is agents. You can see AutoGen Studio, which enables you to take multiple agents and have them talk together. Since I have only one time for one example, so we can see a robot that asks someone to plot a chart of Meta stock and Tesla stock, and another robot that is assistant agents that do the coding for him. He then examines the code and finds some errors, and they talk to each other, and eventually they do create the output of the graph. And you can imagine more multimodality approaches and playing chess and whatever. If you want to start, AutoGen is a great place. And if you have startups and you want to try it for free, you can scan the code. Thank you very much. And